For this project, I have software engineering as my topic. Um, the field is a topic of choice because of there's many ways we can achieve different applications of how software engineers solve problems in the real world. Um, One example would be how do we view software engineering in our own daily lives? Uh, we can define software engineering as a set of instructions to solve a problem. And in software engineering, there are different types of problems that involve computers, tech, and many different types of applications. And in our personal lives, we can see that software engineering is important because we want to solve problems in a step-by-step manner so that we don't have to face the same problem over and over again. There's been a lot of research in this field because computer science has always been uh, a topic of interest for those that want to understand how it works and why programming language and software work together to improve the lives of many. Um, one of those institutions would be the University of Washington, and they had this group called the Programming Languages and um, Software Group. If you go to the website, we notice that in this group, um, they have collaborated to talk about how we use computer science and how we view it um, through testing, verification, and security. Um, we want to understand how the programming environment and how the language design all affect the software engineering strategies that are used today. Um, Another good example would be the one in UC Santa Barbara, where the internet security is related to cybersecurity. Um, and this has a lot to do with how information is processed via the internet. This involves model validation, code generation to make a compilation more effective, and source code is compiled more speedily and more effectively. And these are software processes that are discussed in large meetings, uh, and some of them are involve management and and these uh, project teams they manage how the project will go, and so they perform code reviews, um, which analyze how code is being tested, um, and what's more effective codes snippets that reduce redundancy and create optimal behavior in separate software programs. Um, this is a part of all of a team-based communication collaboration solution where each one shares their own expertise and they collaborate to build the final product. Uh, all the documentation and design of the software package is made by software engineers. Um, and so we would like to know how can we get involved? How can we be more part of that software engineering community as we pursue a career in that field? Luckily, there are places where there's a community dev advice where developers discuss and ask and learn and grow about their own experience in Java software engineering or C++ engineering. Um, and these communities are found can be found anywhere. Um, for example, we have GitHub or Geeks for Geeks. These communities um, are very general. It's not specific to any software company, but they do handle a very specific coding. Look for sites that have a ton of information and research about how you can advance your career. Some suggested courses or programs that I would recommend for those that are interested in the field of software engineering um, would be to take a class that is specific to programming, like C++. And it's one of those languages that, like C and all those predecessors, um, they all have a shared general knowledge of programming, and those that talk about it related a lot to object-oriented languages, and this has become a very strong part of software engineering. And so, software design is now almost object-oriented most of the time. Um, and these projects rely heavily on all these languages such as C++, Java, Python, or C Sharp. There's also Ruby on Rails and Rust and many other programming languages um, that just need and require the computer software skill that is needed to solve problems that involve computer files and computer operations. Um, uh, and if you ever need more rigorous courses, you can just take Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Calculus 3, and those are mathematics courses that prepare you for the rest of the course. Um, and advice from an expert in the field would be that being analytical or forming entrepreneur skills can mold your career to fit the needs of others. This small group of like-minded individuals has a lot of potential to create different and more unique roles in software engineering field. And what I mean by this quote is that more and more so software engineers can form their own entrepreneurial career. Um, and this can be an independent side project or a group project, but it forms their own identity about how they want to fit the needs of others and how they want to use those software.